Good evening, students. So do you remember what we were studying in our last class? We were talking about motivation, right? The theories of motivation. So what were the theories of motivation which we have studied till now? Maslow's theory of need hierarchy, then Herzberg's two-factor theory, then we have studied about theory X and theory Y by McGregor, right? So I hope you remember the theories. Monot ase to? Tai sage absent asle. You were absent. So ebar ghorat pori saba de. Theory kita common study koribo loga bostu hoy. So today we will continue with the remaining 3 theories which are easy and important hoy kintu agor gita besi important, right? We will study about Eldorfer's ERG theory. ERG stands for your existence, relatedness and growth, right? So in this theory, what Eldorfer has said, he has said that there are 3 groups of your needs which are categorized into existence, relatedness and growth. This core needs, we can classify them in accordance with the Maslow's needs. Maslow's theory logot ami egita kokoman relate koribo paru, right? So first jitu need ase existence need. Existence needs are those needs that are required for the living, which are similar to the physiological needs of Maslow. Monot ase na physiological needs are the I'm explaining you, okay? In Maslow's theory, what we did, we categorized he said that there are various needs of human beings, and those needs are the basis for motivating a person, right? And those needs we have categorized into a pyramid-like structure, and the lowest category was the physiological needs. Physiological needs mane jibur needs amar basic living or karne dorkar, jene the need for cloth, food, water, right? Those are the basic needs or the physiological needs. Physiological needs bur jetia amar satisfy korar mane limit pabole hoy, then we think about the next higher level of needs, which is the safety needs. Tapisot ami safety needs ole ahim. Safety needs will consist of your safety and security. Security from what? Security against your health, security from external disturbances, war, etc. Security from against your health, right? Security against your job, and safety against what? Safety from external threats. All this will come under safety and security needs. Jetia safety and security needs kini fulfill hobole hoy, then we think about the next higher order needs, which is the need of what? Kiesle next need to relationship needs or social needs. In social needs, we think about love and affection. We think about building a social relationship along with others. Hekini tumar social needs are ahibo. When social needs are about to be fulfilled, then we think about the next higher order needs or the needs of kiesle. Esteem needs. Esteem needs are the needs of your recognition, about getting respect from others, then what? Aru ki asle? How to rank, position, how to hold the position in your job, all these things will come under your self-esteem needs. Next, jetian esteem needs kini amar fulfill hobo, then we come to the last or the topmost needs, which are the needs of your self-actualization. And self-actualization means attaining the full capacity. Tamane tumar ejon manuhor jiman kini khyamata ase, he khyamata to jetia fulfill koribo. Mane if he is deserving to be what? To be the president of India, and he is capable of becoming that, then he should become. And if he can fulfill that wish of his, which he has aspired to become, then we can say that he has fulfill the need of self-actualization. Tamne nijor jiman kini potential ase, he potential to jodi achieve koribo pare. Tumar jiman kini, if you can achieve the skills and the full মানে ফুল তোমাৰ নিজৰ যিখিনি ক্ষমতা আছে সেইখিনি পুৰা যদি তুমি ইউটিলাইজ কৰিব পাৰা দেন ইউ হেভ এচিভ দ্য নিড অফ ইয়ৰ সেলফ একচুৱেলাইজেশ্যন বুজি পাইছা চ' ইফ ইউ আণ্ডাৰষ্টেণ্ড দ্য বেচিক কনচেপ্ট দেন ইউ কেন attempt the objective questions. So here this theory yat agor nisna categorize kora hoise but into only 3 categories. Elderfer has categorized the needs of people into only 3 categories which are existence, relatedness and growth. Existence needs at kiki ahibo tumar the needs of your physiological needs or safety needs. Mane Maslow's or jikitat bottom 2 needs. The 2 lowermost categories of needs are the existence needs according to Elderfer. Buzi paisa? Maslow's etu pyramid asle no asane diagram to bar. Yeah, this you see this is the pyramidical structure of Maslow's hierarchy need. Our lowermost jikita needs yat physiological and safety needs ase hey needs kini according to Elderfer it is the existence needs, right? Buzi paisa? Our safety related needs will consist of your health, security, employment and property. All these needs will come under your existence needs. Next, relatedness. Relatedness will consist of the social needs and esteem needs but adha. Esteem needs because esteem needs will also consist of your growth needs. Okay? So related needs are kiki ahibo amar. These needs will consist of maintaining interpersonal relationships. Yet Amar, we will talk about building good relationship with one another and it will align with the Maslow's needs of love and belongingness. Buzi paisa? Maslow's needs are logot ekhini ami align koribo parim. And jikhini to amar social interactions or through the jikhini amar relationships build kora hoy hekhini yat ami consider korim. Like the relationships with your friends and family and the esteem related needs. Esteem related needs means here gaining the respect of others. Others are pa honman belegor pa honman puatu bujaise, right? Next, growth needs. Growth needs ot amar kiki thakibo esteem needs as well as your self actualization needs, right? So growth needs will consist of the extrinsic desire for your personal development. Aru yat amar kunkhini needs thakibo self esteem, self confidence, achievement aru self actualization or kisuman features ami consider koribo paru jene morality, creativity, problem solving and discovery. Mane ejon manu jetia nijor creativity to pura utilize kore then we can say that the person has reached his self actualization need, right? Bujisa? Nije jodi kiba eta discover koribo pare so these things will come under your growth needs according to Elderfer. Bujisa? But yat ki koise swa in Maslow's theory what we have seen that Maslow ki koise that the needs are overlapping and when a person reaches the stage of fulfillment of one category of need he will think about the next category. Jetia eta category needs kini almost fulfill hobo hoise tetia teo next category to shift kore ba jump kore boli koisu hoy ne. But in this theory according to Elderfer koise je when a person cannot satisfy or is unable to satisfy one category of needs then he will double his efforts towards achieving the lower category of need. Jodi yat kwa hoise je growth needs kini jodi ejon manue fulfill koribo nware titia hole teo ki koribo teo next jitu lower level lor needs kini ase hekini fulfill koribo karone nijor effort to double koribo. This is the difference between your Maslow and Elderfer's need. Bujisa? Maslow ki korisle he will shift to the next higher order need, right? Yat kintu ki koise je jetia eta category of needs fulfill nohoy he will jump to the lower order need. Upor tole jump koribole nasai he will shift towards the lower order need and he will try to fulfill those needs with doubling the efforts to nijor besi logabo, right? This is clear? Buji paisa? Next is the theory of your achievement theory which is given by McClelland. So in this theory of achievement, in this motivational achievement theory, tomar McClelland ki koise je there are 3 category of needs which are classified into need for achievement, need for power and need for affiliation. Tinta needs categorize kora hoise, right? First is the need for achievement, second need for power and third is the need for affiliation. Yat ki koise that those people who are motivated by the need for achievement, they will what? They will be very responsible. They will be trying to take the risk. They will obviously be very much happy if someone gives them the responsibility, and they will utilize their full potential to drive towards excellence in their field. Mane ইয়াত যিখিনি মানুহে এচিভমেন্টৰ নিডেৰে মোটিভেট হয় হেখিনি মানুহে নিজকে কেনেকে বেটাৰ পাৰফৰ্ম কৰিব হেতু চাই. These people will be very much enthusiastic to perform a task, and these people are very much responsible and they will be very happy if someone gives them feedback about their performance, right? And tomar management jodi tenukwa manuhok motivate koribole hoy, then what the management will do? Management will have to give them some kind of authority or some kind of what? Freedom, so that he can work according to his own will. Nohole the person will what? The person will be demotivated, right? So ekhini kothai koa hoise. Monot thakibo. So the people who are motivated by the need for achievement, they will be always striving towards performing better in their work field, and they will be always eager or ready to assume responsibility and risk. And these people, if they have to be motivated, then the management have to give them some kind of freedom and give them some authority and delegate them various tasks so that they can work with what? Full enthusiasm, and they will not get demotivated. Karon nijor jodi ability thake tar pisoto jodi koribole nepai, that brings frustration in the people, right? Hoy ne jodi ejon manuhe sob koribo pare tothapi jodi teo koribo nidia hoy, tetiale to teo bhitore teo khong uthi thakibo, and it will bring into result in frustration in the workplace, right? So monot thakibo need for achievement. Next we will come to the need for power. Need for power. So the people who are motivated by the need for power, they what kind of persons are those? Theolokor characteristics bur kenikwa hobo? These people will be trying to what? Influence others. These people will try to bring about the change in the people. They will want people to follow them. The people who want to be powerful, or those who are motivated by power, they will be trying to control the environment. Hoy ne powerful manubure ki bisare je belege teolokor kotha khini hune teo sob bostu control koribo pare, heniko hekini teolokor characteristics hoy ne, but it is not that they are mane ihote bisare, they are motivated by the need for power, but it is not that they want to become powerful, so they are behaving like that. Hetu nohoy. They do not behave kore because they want to become powerful nohoy. They are motivated actually. Jeta power pai tetia teolokok eta sense of motivation die. Buzi paisa? Swa kitabot swa tumalke. Kotha to ki koa hoise, last line of the point number 2. Managers who are motivated by the need for power are not necessarily power hungry in the sense in which the expression is often used. Buzi paisa? Swa last line dal pori swa. Last line dal purhi swa. Managers who are motivated by the need for power are not necessarily power hungry. Buzi paisa? But they are motivated if they become powerful. Yeti power pabo karne tenekwa nokore. Kintu jodi teoloke power to pai, then they are actually motivated. Right? So they try to influence others. They want people to follow them and listen to them, and they will be behaving sometimes as a dictator. Sometimes they behave like a dictator. Ketiaba mane olop autocratic type to behave koribo pare. Right? And they are outspoken person. Outspoken person mane ki koy? Kiba eta jodi monot kiba eta ahe no, they will not think what others will think. They will speak out their mind. Right? And they will use forcefulness. Belege jodi teolokor kotha to nuhune, tetia hole sometimes they may use force upon them. Right? So these are the people who are motivated by the need for power. And the last category of your need according to your achievement theory is the need for affiliation. Need for affiliation means the need for being what? The need for being accepted by others, right? They want to what? Want to be friendly with others. They will behave in a cordial manner with their managers. They will be trying to solve the problems of others. This kind of people who are motivated by the need for affiliation. Kan hioti ki bisare, hioti belegor pai acceptance bisare. Are these people, they will, ma tumar kotha hudislu, je aji nahe negi. Because you always attend the class, right? So the next category is the need for affiliation. So the people who are motivated by the need for affiliation, they will value the feelings of others. And if someone gives them any suggestion, they will what? They will listen to that, right? They will tend to conform to the wishes of those people whose friendship and companionship they value, right? I am teaching the theory number 5 of motivation, page number 254. 254. Right? Next we will come to the 6th theory, which is the theory of J. Stacy Adam. Adams or equity theory পঢ়িম এতিয়া. Equity theory কি হৈছে? কি কোৱা হৈছে যে we will try to equate. But before that, I will just ask you something, okay? People always perceive the rewards as something which is motivating, right? Kiba eta kaam korile tumalke obviously reward to jodi bhal poa, then you are always motivated. But how you perceive the reward, that is a very important factor in motivating others. To me, ami manhu bure ba employees bure reward to keneke sao ami, whether we see it as motivating or demotivating. Motivating ketia hobo? When an employee will see the reward as encouraging or motivating, ketia? When it will be fair, right? Fair in the sense that teo jiman khini efforts dise, he mote reward to paise, right? But if that reward is not in accordance with the efforts which he have given to the job, then it will be demotivating, right? Another factor which can compel him to think of reward as discouraging is that if the reward that he is getting is less than his colleagues, right? Ekekhini kaam dujon manhe korise, but the other person, if he is getting more rewards, then it will be demotivating for him, right? So Adam's equity theory, or in this theory, Adam has tried to equate the rewards of one person with another person. Bujisa noy? Hekarne naam to equity theory. Here he tries to equate the rewards of one person with that of another person. And then we can see that whether it is motivating factor or a demotivating factor. Buji paisa? So Adams or equity theory ki koise? Je an employee's inputs are compared with the employee's outputs. Employees are input ki hobo pare? Input ki hobo pare? What can be the inputs of an employee? His hard work, his dedication, the skills, right? His time, his efforts, all these things will be the input, right? Output buli kole ki bujim? Output ki hobo pare? The result, the recognition, the respect which he is getting, right? All these things will come under your output. So, you see, if a person or an employee's output by input ratio jitu thake, hetu belegotke jodi besi hoy. If we compare two persons' output by input ratio and we find that A's, if we consider the person as A jodi output by input ratio B ke besi hoy, right? Then it is called as overpaid inequity. Inequity kele koa hoise because obviously it is not equal. Hekane equity boli nokoi inequity koise. Overpaid inequity. That means he is getting more than the other person, right? He is getting more than B. So it is called as overpaid equity. Aru etu ki koa hoise je it is only the perceived output. Perceived output. Mane actual nohoy. Manujone nije keneke bhabe. Buji paisa? We are not comparing the actual output by input ratio. We are considering what a person thinks. What the employee thinks. Hetu employee ki bhabise. Hetur upothe ami mane compare korisu, right? So when an individual perceives his outcomes are more as compared to his inputs in relation to others, it is called as overpaid output. Overpaid, tamne besike pai ase. Because he is getting more, right? Underpaid inequity ketia hobo? Underpaid mane kom hobo. Jetia a person A's output by input ratio will be less than the output by input ratio of B, then he is overpaid keneke hobo. So underpaid inequity buli kom tetia. Bujisa? And if the ratio of output by input of A is equal to B, then it will be inequity. Sorry, equal hole inequity keneke hobo? Equity hobo aru this is just the perceived value, not the actual value, right? So nije jodi etia output to bhabe ki moi besi, if I feel that I am getting more, then obviously I will be motivated. Kintu moi jodi bhabu ki tumatke to muk kom di ase, then obviously I will be demotivated. So this theory holds an important place in your motivating the employees. Bujisa? So there is a list given here regarding inputs ki hobo pare ba outputs ki hobo pare. So inputs bur ki hobo pare? Effort, loyalty, hard work, commitment, knowledge, experience, skills, ability, adaptability, flexibility, acceptance of others, determination, enthusiasm, trust in superiors, support of colleagues, and personal sacrifice. Any term which you have not understood? Sub terms buji paisa to? Next, output ki, huh? Kitu? Kuntu koisa? Adaptability. Adaptability means how you can adjust to a situation. How you can adapt to the circumstances. Kan tumi jodi eta swa adaptability example tumi swa. If you have come to work in Oil India Limited from what? From Kerala. Or good, from Hyderabad, and you expect to have biryani everywhere every day. Yat paba jano daily? Canteen on gopala aji biryani kham daily canteen napai no. So what this person he will have to adapt with the food culture of Assam or this place, right? So that is adaptability in workplace. So he to adapt hobole karone eta effort dise no, hoy ne? So that is called as an input. Buji paisa? Enthusiasm nane কাম কৰা এটা জোশ থাকে ন, হয় নে? কাম কৰিবলৈ এটা জোশ, কামলে এটা জাম, জোশত একদম জাম, 7 o'clock একদম পাংচুৱেল। হেতুটো তুমি ইউ আৰ নট আ আৰ্লি ৱেকাৰ। তুমি ৰাতিপুৱা সোনকালে ৰাতিপুৱা নুঠা সাধাৰণতে তুমি 9টা বজাত উঠা but you are so much enthusiastic to work in the new job at Oil India Limited যে নতুনকে চাকৰি পাইছা and you are now getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to your work at 7 o'clock to tumi to tumar eta enthusiasm dekhaisa no that is also an what that is also an adjustment or you are showing that enthusiasm tumi to okoman nijor effort disa no enthusiastic hobo karone hoine some kind of okoman lagibo no motivation eta lagibo no ratipa nutha manu eta jodi uthe so that is also an input right buji paisa aru kiba next outputs output factors burat ki ase recognition financial rewards perks mane bujisa to your example dia ase je financial rewards such as salary benefits and perks are also some kinds of incentives horu incentives bur kisuman dia hoy je for your better performance. So these are also these are called as perks. Next, reputation, responsibility, sense of achievement, praise, stimulus, sense of advancement or growth, and job security. Yat kiba nubuja bostu ase stimulus, right? Stimulus mane tuma stimulus mane heri hoy. Tumar stimulus boli kole one kind of signal that will trigger a sensation in others mane science or language teneke koy etia bujisa to bujisa e bujise bujai dia you look at the dictionary meaning but stimulus to me ami etu touch me not plan to khetrot ami bujabo paro no sui dia lage a kind of sensation touch me not plan dekhisa na lajuki lota ne ki koy je dekhisa na okkoman slight touch kora lage jopai jai so that is creating a stimulus in the plant bujisa and okkoman dictionary meaning to style ulai loson change hetwe something that triggering factor bujisa hetuk tumar output boli dhora hoise bujisa something that will trigger a change in the person so hetuk stimulus ok output boli kele koa hoise because when so jeta bhal reaction eta paba bhal appreciation eta paba it will bring growth in the person right hoine মানে মানুজনে নিজে আৰু অলপ ভালকে কৰিম বুলি আৰু এবাৰ এটা মাইন্ডসেট এটা বনাই লয় ন ৰাইট এটো থিওৰি বুজি পাইছা equity theory is clear next we will come to the last theory which is Victor Vroom's expectancy theory comes from the word expect we expect something হয় না যেতিয়া এটা কাম কৰো we obviously expect some good rewards for that work right kiba ta kaam korile ami bhal result eta akha koru hoy ne so people when they work towards the performance of any job they will try to do a critical analysis of their behavior je moi jodi eneke behave koru tar result to ki hobo aru ba eneke dhorone belege dhorone jodi moi behave koru tar result to ki hobo he will obviously think or he will judge the different alternatives that are available before him and when a person finds that option B is more rewarding then he will try to select that route towards achieving the goal right hoine prothomete tumi jikono eta kaam jeta task eta perform koribol die if there are various alternatives or available before you you will obviously try to জাজ যে এনেকে মই কামটো কৰিলে বেছি ভাল হ'ব নে ই ধৰণে কৰিলে ভাল হ'ব, ৰাইট? এণ্ড দ্য ৱে ইন উইচ দ্য ৰিৱাৰ্ডছ আৰ মোৰ মোৰ বেটাৰ অৰ ৰিৱাৰ্ডছ আৰ মোৰ মটিভেটিং অৰ য'ত ৰিৱাৰ্ডছটো তুমি বেছি ভাল দেখিবা সেই ধৰণে কামটো কৰিম, হয়নে? চ' দিছ থিয়ৰী চেজ ডেট আমি কিবা এটা কাম কৰিলে কিবা এটা ভালকৈ কৰিলে আমি কিবা এটা ৰিজাল্ট এক্সপেক্ট কৰোঁ, এণ্ড দ'জ ৰিজাল্টছ উই কেন find it through a formula and through multiplication of various factors, or we can give certain points to the various importance which we give to different factors. বুজি পাইছা? So expectancy theory কোৱা হৈছে যে the assessment that the likelihood that the effort will lead to expected performance, belief that the performance will lead to reward মানে instrumentality বুলি কোৱা হৈছে. So চাবা ইয়াত আমাৰ expectancy theory এটা ফৰ্মুলা দিয়া হৈছে য'ত কোৱা হৈছে যে motivation is equal to valence into expectancy into instrumentality. So valence to কি ইয়াত যেটো ফৰ্মুলা দিছে তাত valence to কি বুজাইছে? Valence is the importance that a person puts on the reward. বুজি পাইছা? তুমি ৰিৱাৰ্ড এটা পাইছা কিন্তু ৰিৱাৰ্ডটোক তুমি কিমান ভেলিউ দিছা? তুমি তোমালোকে এক্সামত ভাল পাৰফৰ্ম কৰিলা, মই তোমালোকক এটা পেন দিলোঁ, 10 টকীয়া পেন। তুমি ভাবিব পাৰে 10 টকীয়া পেন এটা দিছে মাত্ৰ মেমে। তাই আকৌ ভাবিছে যে ৱাও মেমে মোৰ এফৰ্টটো মেমে ৰেকগনাইজ কৰিছে, পেন এটা দি মোক মটিভেট কৰিলে, তাই তেনেকৈ ভাবিছে। তুমি বাৰু ভাবিছে 10 টকীয়া পেন এটা দিছে। চ' সেই ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চটো তোমালোকে ৰিৱাৰ্ডটোক বেলেগ বেলেগ দিছা ন? ইউ আৰ গিভিং 0 importance to my reward. She is giving, I'm just considering an example, okay, don't take it personally. হয় নে? তুমি 10 টকাৰ পেনটোক ভেলু নাই দিয়া কিন্তু তাই বহুত গুৰুত্ব দিছে যে মেমে মোৰ পাৰফৰ্মেঞ্চটো ৰেকগনাইজ কৰিছে, মেমে মোক চিনি পাইছে, মই ভাল, মেমে খবৰ ৰাখিছে মোৰ ভাল ৰিজাল্টৰ। চ' শ্বি ইজ গিভিং মোৰ ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ। চ' সেই বস্তু ফেক্টৰটোক আমি ভেলেঞ্চ বুলি কোৱা হৈছে, দ্য ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ ডেট এ পাৰ্চন প্লেচেছ অন দ্য ৰিৱাৰ্ড, ৰাইট? চ' ডেট মটিভেশ্যনটো আমি এনেকৈ কেলকুলেট কৰোঁ, ৰাইট? বুজি পাইছা? So motivation equals to valence. Valence is the importance that a person or an employee puts on the reward. Buzi paisa? Next is the expectancy. Valence into expectancy. Expectancy mane ki? Expectancy is the faith or the belief that the person believes that better efforts will result in better performance. Je tumi বেছি এফৰ্টটো যদি বেছি দিয়া তোমাৰ ৰিজাল্টটো ভাল হ'ব, সেই যিটো ফেথ আছে ডেট ইজ ইয়'ৰ এক্সপেক্টেঞ্চি। চ' ইয়াত কেনেকৈ মাৰ্কছ দিম আমি এক্সপেক্টেঞ্চিটোত? এক্সপেক্টেঞ্চি ইজ দ্য বিলিফ অৰ দ্য ফেথ ডেট মই যদি ভালকৈ এফৰ্ট দিওঁ অবভিয়াছলি মাই ৰিজাল্টছ উইল বি গুড। চ' ইফ ইউ চি ডেট my efforts are unsuccessful, বহুত পৰীক্ষাত কাৰণে বহুত প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিলা কিন্তু তুমি যিখিনি পঢ়িলা তাৰ ভিতৰত একো নাহিলে, all your efforts have gone into vain, তেতিয়া তোমাৰ কি হ'ব? তেতিয়া তোমাৰ আমি এক্সপেক্টেঞ্চিটো কি দিম? 0। কিন্তু তোমাৰ if your efforts are successful তেতিয়া আমি 1 দিম। চ' এনেকৈ আমি মাৰ্কিং কৰিব পাৰোঁ, ৰাইট? ভেলেঞ্চ বুজি পালা? Expectancy you can relate with the efforts. Next is the instrumentality, right? Last factor jitu hoy instrumentality. Instrumentality is the faith that if you perform well then a valid outcome will be there. Tumi jodi perform koriba tumar outcome kiba eta thakiboi, ba you can consider that one effort that you are putting today will bring in further good results. এনেকেও কনসিডাৰ কৰিব পাৰা। লাষ্ট যেটো ইনস্ট্ৰুমেন্টালিটি তুমি এনেকে ভাবিবা যে আজি তুমি এফৰ্ট দিলা, এফৰ্ট দিয়াৰ কাৰণে তুমি এটা ভাল ৰিজাল্ট পালা, ৰাইট? ডেট এফৰ্ট উইল আফটাৰ সাম ডেজ ইট উইল মাল্টিপ্লাই অৰ ইট উইল গিভ এ সেকেন্ড আৰু এটা ৰিজাল্ট দিব। আজি যদি তোমাৰ মেট্ৰিকটো ভাল হয় ফৰ এক্সাম্পল তুমি মেট্ৰিক এক্সাম ভাল কৰিলা ৰিজাল্ট তুমি তেতিয়া ভাল কলেজ এখনত ছিট পালা সেই ভাল কলেজ এখনত ছিট পোৱাৰ কাৰণে তোমাৰ কাৰণে আৰু বহুত অপৰচুনিটিজ খুলি গ'ল হয়নে চ' দিছ ইজ দ্য ইনষ্ট্ৰুমেণ্টেলিটি ফেক্টৰ বুজিছা that your effort that you give today will result in a good effort tomorrow and that will bring more good results in the future. That is the instrumentality factor. বুজি পাইছা মই বেছি লাইন বাই লাইন পঢ়োৱা নাই because we are running out of বেছি মানে দীঘলীয়াকৈ পঢ়ায়ো একচুৱেলি লাভ নাই you need to understand the concept কেইটা বুজি পালে তোমালোকে whatever statement comes you will be able to attempt the answers. বুজি পাইছা আৰু লিমিটেশ্যনছখিনি পঢ়ি চাবা লিমিটেশ্যনছ আৰ নট ডেট টাফ লিমিটেশ্যনছবোৰ এবাৰ পঢ়িলে বুজি পাবা এণ্ড ক'ৰবাত যদি কিবা এটা এনেকুৱা টাৰ্ম পোৱা যিটোৰ তোমালোকৰ মিনিং নাজানা go through the dictionary ইয়াত যিখিনি টান শব্দবোৰ আছে ন that is not technical or তোমাৰ subject related that is related to your literature কিছুমান word যিবোৰ টান দেখিবা ন that is just English মানে flowery languageত লিখাৰ কাৰণেহে টান শব্দবোৰ পাবা ৰাইট থিয়ৰিটো বুজি পালা এডভান্টেজেছ লিমিটেশ্যনছ এখিনি মই পঢ়োৱা নাই আৰু হ'বনে পঢ়ি ল'বা নিজে Okay, next we will come to the last chapter and this is very easy. Decision making. So what is decision making? Hoda huni thaka na decision lobo lagibo kunkhon college ot pohim CMA complete korile ki korim CMA kori ako pohim ne nai na ako jobot humam decision lobo lagibo so what is a decision Decision is not setting objectives. Decision is making a judgment or choosing the best alternative out of different alternatives to reach at a conclusion. At a final at a judgment lobole hoy no or aru ki dhorone kobo paro. Decision is actually choosing or electing one option out of the various options by analyzing the different options that are available towards you to reach at a particular conclusion or decision is taking or making a conclusion to solve a problem right let's look at the buji paisa ne look at the formal definitions bahut kita tumalokor kitabot definitions dia ase decision represents a judgment a final resolution of a conflict of needs means or goals and a commitment to action made in the face of uncertainty complexity or even irrationality terms kita buji paisa ne terms according to Felix M. Lopez a decision represents a judgment, a final resolution of a conflict of needs, means or goals and a commitment to action made in the face of uncertainty, complexity or even irrationality. Uncertainty mane gom paisa eta uncertain environment eta siddhanta lobole jitu ko no that is a decision. An uncertain environment hobo pare tumar suppose example dia I always like the example of covid or homoy je bondho sab bondho but still tumar office khula ase eta jam ne na jam nogole payment cut hobo gole health risk hobo so you have to take a decision right that is a situation of that is a complex situation of complexity situation of uncertainty kitya hobo give me any example of a situation of uncertainty তুমি এখন কলেজত এডভান্সড মানে তুমি কিবা এখন আফটাৰ পাছিং ইয়ৰ মেট্ৰিক এক্সামিনেশ্যন ইউ হেভ এপিয়াৰ্ড ইন চাম কাইণ্ড অফ টেষ্ট মেট্ৰিক নহয় ছাপ'জ হাই ছেকেণ্ডেৰী ৰিজাল্ট দিয়াৰ পিছত হায়াৰ ষ্টাডিজৰ কাৰণে কোনোবা এখন কলেজ বা ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিৰ এক্সাম দি থৈছা ৰাইট বাট ডেট এক্সাম হেজ ডেট university or college has a guideline that 70% or above নহলে admission মানে একিহঁতৰ এক্সামটো ক্লিয়াৰ কৰিলেও তোমাক সিট নিদিয়ে ৰাইট বুজি পাইছা মই কোৱা কথাটো তোমাৰ এখন ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি বা কলেজৰ ইণ্টাৰনেল যিটো এক্সাম মানে সিলেক্ট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কেণ্ডিডেট সিলেক্ট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে এটা এক্সাম পাতিছে তুমি এক্সাম দিলা you have scored the required amount of marks but সিহঁতৰ এটা ক্ৰাইটেৰিয়া আছে যে 70% marks নাপালে এডমিশ্যন নলয় সিহঁতি বাট তুমিতো এটা ডিচিশ্যন ল'লা ন এই হেৰিটোত এই সিহঁতৰ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিখনৰ এক্সামটো দিবা বুলি বাট ৱেডাৰ ইউ আৰ চাৰ্টেইন এবাউট ইয়ৰ মাৰ্কছ নো তুমি এই বস্তুটোও জানা যে 70% নহ'লে তোমাক এডমিশ্যন নল'ব বাট ষ্টিল ইউ টুক এ ডিচিশ্যন যে মই এক্সামটো দিম ৰাইট ডেট ইজ টেকিং এ ডিচিশ্যন আণ্ডাৰ আনচাৰ্টেইনিটি বুজি পাইছা নেক্সট তোমাৰ আৰু এটা কি আছে ইৰেশ্যনেলিটি মানে ইৰেশ্যনেল কিছুমান ইৰেশ্যনেল ডিমাণ্ডছ আহে ন ইৰেশ্যনেল ডিমাণ্ডছ অফ ইয়'ৰ এমপ্লয়িজ টু দ্য মেনেজমেণ্টৰলৈ ইৰেশ্যনেল ডিমাণ্ডছ কিছুমান আহে কেতিয়াবা যে বিহুৰ বন্ধ 3 দিন নহয় এসপ্তাহ লাগিব বিহু পাতিম আমি গাঁৱত বিহু পাতিম বিহু সন্মিলন পাতিম চ' তেতিয়া মেনেজমেণ্ট বা that is not a very good example বেলেগ এটা এক্সাম্পল ল'বা ইৰেশ্যনেল ডিমাণ্ডছ ৰিলেটেড যদি তোমাৰ বা ইৰেশ্যনেল কিছুমান ডিমাণ্ডছ ফুলফিল কৰিবলৈ যদি ডিচিশ্যন লোৱা হয় দেন ডেট উইল বি আ ডিচিশ্যন মেকিং আণ্ডাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যনছ অফ ইৰেশ্যনেলিটি বুজি পাইছা ইৰেশ্যনেল মানে কিছুমান যুক্তি নথকা তাৰমানে কণ্ডিশ্যনছ হ'ব লাগিব মানে কণ্ডিশ্যনছ কেইটাৰ কথা কৈছোঁ যুক্তি নথকা কিছুমান কণ্ডিশ্যনছ যদি তুমি মেনেজমেণ্টৰ আগত দি দিয়া সেইখিনি কনচিডাৰ কৰি যদি এটা ডিচিশ্যন ল'বলৈ হয় দেন ডেট উইল বি আ ডিচিশ্যন মেকিং আণ্ডাৰ দ্য কণ্ডিশ্যনছ অফ ইৰেশ্যনেলিটি বুজি পাইছা চ' ডিচিশ্যন মেকিঙৰ ডেফিনেশ্যনছবোৰ চাই ল'বা আৰু বেলেগ মানুহে বেলেগ কৈছে একৰ্ডিং টু জৰ্জ আৰ টেৰী decision making is electing of an alternative from 2 or more alternatives to determine an opinion or a course of action বুজি পাইছা আৰু বেলেগ ডেফিনেশ্যনছ আছে বাই এণ্ড্ৰিউছ চিজলিয়াগিল so difficult right next জন মেকডনেল্ড ইয়াৰ মাজত জাষ্ট এটা কথা হয় নাই দেন উই কেন বেটাৰ মানে অলপ ভাল লাগে ন পঢ়ি এণ্ড উই অলছ' ট্ৰাই ইফ উই ন' দ্য নেমছ অফ দ্য পাৰ্চন বা তেওঁলোক কোন আছিলে বা কি আছিলে অলপ জানিবলৈও মন যায় ন হয় নাই নেক্সট কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স অফ ডিচিশ্যন মেকিং চ' ডিচিশ্যন মেকিঙৰ কেৰেক্টাৰিষ্টিক্স কি হয় চ' ডিচিশ্যন মেকিং ইজ নেচেচাৰী অনলি ৱেন different alternatives are available যেতিয়া আমাৰ মাজত বেলেগ অল্টাৰনেটিভ থাকে তেতিয়াহে আমি ডিচিশ্যন ল'ম যদি এটাই অপশ্যন থাকে দেন it is not necessary to take a decision right then decision making is a process of making a rational choice মানে using our critical mind but jitu rational hobo jitu justified hobo irrational নহয় man is a rational animal বুলি কওঁ হয় নাই because he has got the power of thinking using his creative mind right so rational choice hobo lagibo any decision eta lolei nohobo you have to consider both the pros and the cons next decision making is a purposeful activity mane It is a helpful activity, right? Next, decision making involves commitment of resources and reputation of the organization, and it is related to the situation or environment. Aru beleg bostu hobo pare, hoy na? It may be related to what? Okal situation or environment hobo ni? Bahut kiba kibi hobo pare, right? Next, we will come to types of decision making. Types of decision making are, first type is your routine and strategic decision. Routine boli kale ki buzo? Horre pra tomalke routine follow kori ahisa. Routine mane eta schedule eta. Mane it will be following by. So routine decisions ki hoy? Routine decisions are those decisions that are repetitive in nature and which do not require much study. Besi bake পঢ়িবলে মেলিবলে বা বেছি বহুত বেছি তোমাৰ ভাবিবলে বা হেবু কৰিবলে দৰকাৰ নাই, right? Routine decisions are repetitive in nature and those can be made by following the established rules, procedures and policies. Our routine decisions bur ami beleg ejon manhuko lobole ami dibole paru. We can delegate the decision making of routine decisions to another persons. Because those are not very complex in nature. But strategic decisions are those decisions which are very much important or crucial to an organization. So these decisions are generally taken by the top level management and the middle level management. And those decisions are regarding very important matters of the company, like policies, procedures, what will be the wages of the employees, what will be the salary structure of the organization, holidays bur keneke dim, all these things, right? Those which are very much of crucial nature, right? Those are the strategic decisions. Buji paisa? Next are the programmed and non-programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are of routine and repetitive natures and which have to be dealt by according to a specific procedure. Programmed decisions mane eta procedure thake, he procedure mate follow korile hoi jabo, right? Next are the non-programmed decisions. Non-programmed decisions mane these decisions are not according to any established rules or some procedures that are formulated by the company. Ebur mane tumar suddenly these are of unpredictable nature, unstructured nature. Tumar it might be different in different conditions. Programmed nohoy. Agor pra tumi bhabi sinti mane loi thoka decisions mo nohoy. Buji paisa? Programmed decisions can be taken according to the established rules. Jene, give an example. Programmed decisions. এখন মানে এটা অৰ্গেনাইজেশ্যনত এজন মানুহক এটা ফিক্স নাম্বাৰ অফ লিভ দিয়া হয় ন, মেডিকেল লিভ হওক, কেজুৱেল লিভ হওক বা পেইড লিভ হওক, হয়নে? চ' that will be a kind of যেতিয়া আকৌ নতুনকৈ এজন মানুহে যদি লিভ বিচাৰি আহে, তো what will be the administrator or the person or the HR manager, what will he do? He will simply look how many leaves he is remaining and he will see that and he will, in accordance with that, he will allot the leave, right? So that is what? A kind of program decision that the HR manager has taken. Buji paisa more example to? Hoine? That is according to the company. Company ruler mote ejon manuhok leave kimanta dibo, eto to fix thake, right? June jiman bisai himanto leave dibo nware, hoine? So based on how many leaves are remaining for that particular person, the HR manager will take the decision of allotting him a leave or not, hoine? So that is an example of your programmed decision. Buji pala ki koiso? So non-programmed decision bur kenekwa hobo? if the workers of an organization, they suddenly sit for a strike and some kind of decision has to be taken, to hetu to management karone expected hoy jano no hoy. Suddenly if the workers sit on a strike, then hiyotok etia hiyotor demands kini fulfill koribo ne nai ba korile jukti thaka hobo ne nai hoy ne. So all these such kind of decisions will be your examples of your non programmed decisions, sudden decisions, and which cannot be delegated to others. And বুজি পাইছা কথাটো, নন প্ৰগ্ৰাম ডিসিশনস কেনেকুৱাবোৰ হ'ব. And this non program decisions require thorough study of the problem and scientific analysis of the situational factors. Study koribo lagibo. Non program decision lobo karne we have to make a study of the problem and we have to do an analysis which should be your scientific in nature. Scientific analysis mane scientific management first chapter পঢ়িছিলা ন, মনত আছে নে কি আছিল? Scientific analysis mane using all the quantitative data and all. You're just mukhe jikhini ami facts and figures saiso etu nohoy. You have to do a research, you have to use that all that data, you have to study the graphs analysis, you have to do through different techniques. So bostu study korar karone belek techniques thake. Even decision making oro kisuman techniques ase, we will see later. So non program decisions buzilo. Next is the policy and operating decisions. Policy decisions are what kind of decisions? The decisions which are regarding the company policies. Policies of what? Policy of ki belek policy thake. No smoking policy, tabisat leave kima kenuka lagibo. All those different rules jibur amar organization etar karone very important and which can be categorized into various types. Policy decisions are of very important decisions that are taken by the top management and they affect the entire enterprise. But operating decisions are taken by the lower management. Jibur decisions ami daily lobo lage regarding the operation of the or the working of the organization. Jene tumar daily tumar kiman khini processed goods daily kiman khini jabo ahibo, raw materials kiman khini anibo, those can be taken by the lower level managers also. Lower mane ekdom top ekdom lowest level kwa nai, middle mane jikhini supervisors like, they can also take this kind of operating decisions. Buzi paisa? Operating decisions are those decisions that are taken by the lower level managers and are required to execute the policy decisions. Policy decisions were fulfill koribo karne jikhini ami decisions law, those are the operating decisions. Just think about mane operations of ahibo. Operations mane working, right? Work to continue kori thakibo karne jikhini amar decisions lobo laga hoy, right? Next is the organizational and personal decisions. Organizational decisions are those decisions that are taken at the organizational level, and personal decisions are those which are taken by the what? Taken by the employees in the organizational setup. Mane personal decisions mane eneka nohoy je tumi কি কবা তুমি অর্গানাইজেশনতে এটা বহি পালে কিছুমান এটো যেটো মই হলিডে এক্সাম্পলটো দিছো, how many leaves you will take in this month, that is a personal decision, but in the organizational setup, right? And organizational decisions are those which are taken at the organizational level and which will affect the entire organization, right? Next is the individual and group decision. Individual decisions are taken what? Taken by an individual, and group decisions are taken by a group or a team. নহয় ইন্ডিভিজুৱেল ডিসিশন ইয়াত কোৱা হৈছে ইন্ডিভিজুৱেল ডিসিশন মানে এজন মানুহে অকল লৈছে ডিসিশনটো, You alone you are taking any decision. A group মানে এটা এজন গ্ৰুপটোৱে গোটেই গ্ৰুপটোৱে মিলি পালে লৈছে নহয় ইয়াত তাৰমানে কেটেগৰীটো আমি হেৰি বেলেগ ধৰণে কেটেগৰাইজ কৰিছোঁ এইটো তোমাৰ ইণ্ডিভিজুৱেল এণ্ড পাৰ্চনেল সেইটো কৈছা একে নেকি হা ইয়াত আমি অকলে ডিচিশ্যনটো লৈছোঁ নে গ্ৰুপত মিলি লৈছোঁ সেইটো কৈছে আৰু ইটো কেটেগৰীত কোৱা হৈছে পাৰ্চনেল ডিচিশ্যনছ মানে which will be personal decisions are regarding your personal matters which is your own decision right an organization ki koise yat tumar personal decisions relate to the manager as an individual and not as a member of the organization and cannot be delegated tamne tumar personal decisions are ekdom personal decisions bor nijor decisions aru tumi belegok hekhini dibo nwara delegate koribo nwara বুজি পাইছা নে এতিয়া বুজি পাইছা নে বস্তুটো মানে ইয়াত আমি বেলেগ বেলেগ ক্যাটেগৰি ওয়াইজ আমি হেৰি কৰিছো দিস ইজ ভেৰি সিম্পল ইন্ডিভিজুৱেল ডিসিশন মানে অকল এজন মানুহে ডিসিশন লোৱা আৰু গ্ৰুপ ডিসিশন মানে গ্ৰুপে লৈছে আৰু পাৰ্সোনেল ডিসিশন মানে নিজৰ তোমাৰ ডিসিশন এটা নিজে লোৱা ডিসিশন এটা আৰু এট which personal decisions might vary from one person to another but organizational decisions will also be different from different organizations but organizational decisions will affect everyone in the organization and organizational decisions are those which a manager takes in his official capacity official capacity mane buji paisa because of his power or officially tar hekhini power ase ba authority ase hekhini decision lobole right like what like a supervisor supervisors bahut supervisors thake eta organization each supervisor can make the job role or job jikhini job description thake according to his own department a supervisor in the finance department not finance department tumar work related beleg task thake to beleg taskor karone beleg supervisor e nijor আন্ডাৰত যিমানবোৰ ওয়াৰ্কাৰ্স আছে হিহঁতৰ কাৰণে যিখিনি কাম ডিজাইন কৰে বা কাম যিখিনি হিহঁতৰ কাৰণে জব ৰোল যিটো হিহঁতৰ হেৰি কৰে জব ডেসক্ৰিপচন যিটো দিয়ে হেতু ভেৰি কৰিব পাৰে ন সো দ্যাট ইজ হিজ পাৰ্সোনেল দ্যাট ইজ হিজ অৰ্গানাইজেশনাল ডিসিশন বেসড অন হিজ অৰ্গানাইজেশনাল পাৱাৰ ৰাইট বুজি পাইছা নেক্সট ইজ your decision making process so decision making process ot ami ki kita steps thake so what are the steps in the decision making process the first step is the identifying and diagnosing the real problems first we have to identify the problem and then ki korim then we will take the decision right so how will you identify a problem decision lobo karone first step is the identification of the problem how will we identify the problem identification process starts with trying to find out where we want to go and if we do not take any step then where we will be bujisa problem to tetia ami he gap then we will be able to find that gap বুজিছা কথাটো যে ডিসিশন লবা রিগার্ডিং হোয়াট রিগার্ডিং your future study right ইয়াৰ পিছত কি পঢ়িবা বা জব কৰিবা নে কি কৰিবা তো প্ৰথমতে তুমি কি বিচাৰিছা হেতু ডিপেন্ড কৰিব ন what you want to do in the next year তুমি next year বা next 5 years ত কি বিচাৰিছা বা কি ক'ত থাকিব বিচাৰিছা বা কিমান পইচা ঘটিব বিচাৰিছা that we will first think in your mind আৰু আজি ক'ত আছা হেতু তুমি sabana nijoke then you will find where is the gap আৰু সেই তাত যদি তুমি সেই পইণ্টত তুমি যাব বিচাৰিছা যে আফটাৰ 5 years I want to be in this position, তো আজিৰ পৰা তুমি সেই এফৰ্টটো দিব লাগিব. This is the gap, right? So that is the first step, identifying the gap between where you are and what you want to do or what you want to become. Hey gap to me find koribo lebo ar tumi aji jodi kiba step nulua then where you will be. Kaliba jodi ghor bohi thaka poha khona nokora job nibisara then what will be there? You have to first understand this gap, right? That is the first step. Then the second step is developing the alternatives. To 5 বছৰ পিছত নিজৰ এটা কোম্পানী খুলিব বিচাৰিছা, you want to be the entrepreneur, you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to open your own company, right? Then কি কৰিব লাগিব, you will choose the different alternatives. যে মই পঢ়িম নে মই এটা বিজনেছ খুলিবলে কি কি avenues মোৰ ওচৰত আছে বা alternatives আছে that I will think of, right? You will try to find out the different alternatives that are available before you. Then কি কৰিবা, তাৰপিছত কি কৰিবা, then we will develop the alternatives. Develop the alternatives মানে you will try to find out the course of action and then you will choose the next alternative, right? Jitu alternative tumar karone most suitable hoy that you will select, right? Then the final step is the evaluation of the evaluate korar pisot you have to select which is the most suitable alternative, right? Then you will implement that alternative and then you will follow up the decision. Buji paisa? First you will identify the gap or the less gap to ami bisarim first, then we will evaluate the different alternatives that are available before us, then we will develop the alternatives, right? After develop, we will evaluate the alternatives and then we will select an alternative and then do the follow-up after taking the most suitable alternative. Buji paisa? Next is the techniques of decision making. What are the different kinds of techniques in decision making? Tumalke linear programming ebur belek subject at pohisa neki? Ha? E bostu kita pohisa neki? Porha nai. Okay, see these things are basically tumal quantitative techniques ba mathematical part thake ha. So I will just explain the terms. Kintu jihetu tumar this is in management, terms buru bahut bhitorwa ke tumalke pohile mane it is not possible to explain you in the management class because these are theoretical. Tumalke maths jena cost accounting problems kora, these are related to certain problem solving. So I will just briefly I will just explain you and just remember the names for your exam, right? First is the linear programming. In linear programming what we do, we try to find out the solution to a problem under conditions of certainty. Tamne what is the just tell me one thing, what is the objective of an organization? Eta ekhon organization at ki hiator heri thake, objective ki thake, profit maximization or minimization of the cost, right? He dutai main hiator objective thake, profit to maximize koribo bisare aru cost to minimize koribo pare. So this we can express in the terms of linear equation. Maths at jodi pohisa tenalge ami je equations bur pohu x equals to y plus z equals to a plus b etake ami express koribo paru, right? And we try to find out the solution, right? Yat ami teneke what ami jodi profit to sao, profit jodi ami express koru x equals to y plus z, ako ami cost to teneke sam, cost equals to suppose a equals to b plus c eneke express korilu. Then what will be our objective? To maximize the cost, maximize the profit or minimize the cost, right? So that is called as an objective function. Hetu kami yat jitu term paisa objective function, that is the when we express in this way, that is the objective function, and our objective is to find out the optimization of this objective function. Buzi paisa? And আমাৰ constraints কিছুমান থাকে বুলি কৈছে in linear programming. Constraints মানে আমাকতো এটা লিমিট দিয়া থাকে ন, যে cost should not be more than 500 crores. So that is a constraint. We cannot take up the cost above that, right? So that is a constraint for the organization. So এনেকে ধৰণে আমি আমাৰ যিটো problem থাকে, that we can express in the form of quantitative technique or linear programming problem হিসাবে আমি মানে ইকুৱেশ্যনৰ ফৰ্মত আমি এক্সপ্ৰেছ কৰি we can solve this and take a decision, right? That is called as the technique of linear programming. And through linear programming we can take a decision. বুজি পাইছা কথাটো? এনেকৈ তাৰমানে মেথমেটিকেল ইকুৱেশ্যনত আমি এক্সপ্ৰেছ কৰি পেলাই আমি তাৰ solutionটো find কৰো, and after finding out the solution we are able to take the decision. So linear programming is a technique of decision making. বুজি পাইছা? So hey jitu ami express koru no, amar statement to jitu express koru, that is the objective function. Optimization mane maximize koribole ami sum he bostu to maximum hetue kotha tomar yat statement at likha ase je the objective function is either maximization of some utility or minimization of some this utility. Utility mane he profit to kami utility boli koisu, so we will try to maximize the profit or minimize some this utility. Mane minimize the this utility mane ki jitu kamot amar kamot naha bostu to kami this utility boli kau. So that is our cost. তো হেনেকে আমি কষ্ট বা প্ৰফিটক আমি এক্সপ্ৰেছ কৰি এনেকে আমি ডিসিশন লব পাৰো, ৰাইট? এণ্ড দিস টেকনিক ইজ ইউজফুল আণ্ডাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যনছ অফ চাৰ্টেইনিটি. কণ্ডিশ্যনছ অফ চাৰ্টেইনিটি তাৰমানে আমাৰ কণ্ডিশ্যনছবোৰ দিয়া থাকিব যে আমাৰ প্ৰফিটটো ইমান হ'ব লাগিব, অ'কে? আমাৰ প্ৰফিট শুড বি 50,000 টনছ বা গেলনছ হ'ব লাগিব বা কিবা এটা এনেকৈ আমাক এক্সপ্ৰেছ কৰা থাকিব. চ' দেট ইন দেট ৱে উই কেন solve it, right? Next is the probability decision theory. Probability decision theory kitya ami use korim when we will use this technique will be used when the conditions will be what? Conditions bu kenekwa hobo lagibo? Probability tamne it will not be certain, but there is a chance, 50-50 chance. যেনেকে আমি probability আমি mathsত অংক কৰিলে আমি দেখো না probability অংক কৰিছা না তোমালকে HSত কৰিছা না কি থাকে যে আমি যদি লুডু গুটি এটা দলিয়াই দিও, then what are the chances of getting 1 or 6? তেনেকে problems বোৰ থাকে. so এটো হবও পাৰে নহবও পাৰে, কিন্তু what are the chances under those conditions when the conditions are just probabilistic and not deterministic or uncertain? মানে 50-50 chance থাকে বা 20-30 chance থাকে. হেনেকে যদি চান্সবোৰ থাকে অলপ then we can use the probability decision theory, right? আৰু হেনেকে হে ফৰ্মুলাস থাকিব ম্যাথছত যেনেকে থাকে, using those formulas of we can find out the solution or we can take the decisions. মনত আছে নে probability কেনেকে সলভ কৰিছলা? কি আছিল? permutation combination or অলপ আছিলে না theory formulas were. So hey burdamne, so I am not going into details. Next is the game theory. Game theory is used under conditions of rivalry or conflict. Jetia conflict situation thake, then to take a decision we use the game theory which will involve some rules, and তেতিয়া আমি game theory বুলি এটা technique use কৰো. Next is the queuing theory. Queue মানে কি বুঝাও? Stand in a queue tamne line, and when there is a line there is a waiting time involved, হয় না? এটা processing industry কি হয় waiting time involved থাকে, বা raw materials যেতিয়া আমি procure কৰো এটা industry লে বাহিৰৰ পৰা, তেতিয়া আমি বহুতখিনি আনিবলৈ আমি দমাই থব নোৱাৰো store houses বা গোডাউনত. কিয়? Because that will involve cost, হয় না? Cost of maintenance, chuhai kati dibo pare, electricity bills will be there. So hey waiting period to komabo karne jetia ami decision lobole lage, then we will use this technique of queuing theory jitu amar theory to ase that we will apply, right? Queuing theory is applicable in taking decisions which will involve your conditions of irregular demand. Kun departments at etu theory use koribo laga hoy basic public transport theory, hospitals, big departmental stores jot tumar waiting time eta involve hoy. Hospitals burat sabajon dorob lobo karone manubure queue lagi thake, tar bisot patient doctors or karone dekhabo karone tumar token system uliai নহলে কি হয় তোমাৰ কি হ'ব পাৰে appointmentor ক্ষেত্ৰত. So this under such conditions your queuing theory is applicable. Next is the simulation theory. Simulation mane the word simulation it means under conditions of your artificial environment. tamne ketiaba tumar organization etat tumar in real scenario eta decision lobole tumar digdari hoy ba lobo nwara. So under such circumstances an artificial environment is created or simulated where factors will be similar and decisions will be taken to see whether how will be the result. Mane eta artificial eta environment create kora hoy aru he condition to under such conditions if a decision is taken then how it will affect hetu study kora hoy. Buzi paisa kenake example dibo pariba eta organization at fire department fire engineering department eta ase kenuka dhorona decision lobo lagibo hosake to organization at jui jolai dibo niki ha যে চাও মানুহবোৰে কেনেকৈ ৰিয়েক্ট কৰে কৰিব নেকি. So তেতিয়া কি কৰিব he will to take such certain decisions regarding such situations eta environment eta simulate koribo laga hobo no conditions bur similar create koribo laga hobo but not in the actual organization. বুজি পাইছা. So heneke tamne kora hoy. Okay, next is the network techniques. In network technique there are two techniques, critical path method and program evaluation and review technique. Just remember the names. These techniques are used in mainly in case of project planning and control where different networks are created and studied to find out the best route of delivering the goods or something like that. Mane network theory ki network technique ki hoy ami arba jikita techniques yet koa hoise part ba critical path method. Here we try to find out the best route or the network in getting the things done, and that is also a kind of your problem solving, right? ইয়াতো তোমাৰ mathematical problems থাকে আমি এনেকে diagram আকি এনেকে কোনটো ফালেদি গলে মানে আমি best solution বা best route to পাম আৰু হেতু আমাক optimum path to দিব. So this will also include your problems. So basic details at মই পঢ়োৱা নাই. Just remember the names of or techniques of decision making. First is your linear programming, then queuing theory ase, game theory, then simulation আৰু network techniques, right? Next is your modern techniques for non-program. Modern techniques boli ako eta ase modern techniques for non-program decision. These are creative techniques. Creative techniques mane ki hobo? Creative techniques are using your creative ideas which might not be very মানে কি হয় তুমি কিছুমান আইডিয়াস দিছা which may seem wild মানে তোমাৰ আইডিয়াস বোৰ হয়তো সবকে পছন্দ নাহিব পাৰে বা but it will trigger some kind of what or generate another ideas which will help in finding the solution or take a decision. হয় না তুমি কিছুমান আমি অপশনস দিও না অপশন দিউতে যেতিয়া আমি বেলেগ বেলেগ অপশনস ক্লাব কৰি দিও আৰু এটা ধুনীয়া নতুন এটা আইডিয়া আমি ফৰ্ম কৰিব পাৰোঁ হয়নে এণ্ড ডেট উইল হেল্প ইন টেকিং আ ডিচিশ্যন চ' ডেট ইজ দ্য ক্ৰিয়েটিভ টেকনিক ইজ দ্য টেকনিক ফৰ নন প্ৰগ্ৰেম ডিচিশ্যন কাৰণ আগতে আমি নন প্ৰগ্ৰেম ডিচিশ্যনছবোৰত কি হয় উই নেভাৰ ন' হয়নে ন' দ্য চাৰ্কামষ্টেঞ্চেছ অৰ আনচাৰ্টেইন এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট হয় নে নন প্ৰগ্ৰেম ডিচিশ্যনছত আগৰ পৰা কোনো ৰুলছ প্ৰচিডিয়াৰ্ছ একো নাথাকে চ' ইন ডেট কেছ ক্ৰিয়েটিভ টেকনিক্স আৰ ভেৰি হেল্পফুল নেক্সট ইজ পাৰ্টিচিপেটিভ টেকনিক্স ৱেৰ এভৰি ওৱান উইল পাৰ্টিচিপেট টু ফাইণ্ড আউট দ্য ডিচিশ্যন ৰাইট এণ্ড নেক্সট ইজ দ্য heuristic technique. The third technique is the heuristic technique. A technique to mane ki hoy trial and error method. Trial and error method. Tumi hit and trial. Tamane ami sabo lagibo. Right? Example diyo. Tumalko kazi bole moi kobat kiba eta kaam koribole le. Tiniutak tinikhon dukanle pothalo. Eke 50 taka di pale pothalo. Tumi 50 takat matra কি কৰিলা 50 টকাত মাত্ৰ ইমান অকমানি পেষ্ট্ৰি এটা আনিলা হি 50 টকাত 10 পেকেট চিপছ আনিলে আৰু হি 50 টকাত এটা কি আনিলে এটা পুৰা কেক আনিলে 50 रुपीसত এটা তুমি এটা এক পিস পেষ্ট্ৰি আনিলা অকল কাক বিলাম মই তোমাক দিলো তুমি 5 টকীয়া চিপছ আনিলা সবকে দিবা আৰু হিও এটা কি আনিলে এটা ফুল কেক আনিলে কেকটো ঠিকে আনিলে কিন্তু কটাৰীখন নানিলে এটা কি হ'ব চ' মই এতিয়া নেক্সট টাইম আবা কাক আনিব দিম তাক চ' ডেট ইজ আ হিট এণ্ড ট্ৰায়েল মেথড ৰাইট আজি মই চাই ল'লোঁ কোনে কামটো ভালকৈ কৰিব পাৰে তো নেক্সট টাইম যদি মই কিবা আনিব দিওঁ অবভিয়াছলি আই উইল থিংক অফ হিম চ' ডেট ইজ এন এক্সাম্পল অফ ইয়াৰ হিউৰিষ্টিক টেকনিক বুজিলা So we have come to the end of your management subject. Okay? Kiba doubt thakile you can message me in my kiba jodi তোমালকে টপিক কিবা বুজি নোপোৱা বা ইয়াৰ নোটছখিনি তোমালোকক টান লাগে ইউ কেন হোৱাটছএপ মি মই লগে লগে ৰিপ্লাই নকৰিব পাৰোঁ বাট আফটাৰ 1-2 আৱাৰ ৱেনেভাৰ আই গেট টাইম আই কেন প্ৰভাইড ইউ দ্য নোটছ ইফ ৰিকুৱাৰ্ড যদি কিবা ইয়াৰ কিছুমান টপিক যদি কিবা বুজি চুজি নোপোৱা বা ইফ ইউ হেভ এনি ডাউট ইউ কেন টেক্সট মি আই উইল হেল্প ইউ আউট অ'কে থেংক ইউ আৰু তোমালোকে ঘৰত পঢ়িবা দেই কিতাপখন পঢ়িবা একদম পৰীক্ষা আগদিনাখনলৈকে নথবা because you have got other subjects also on the same day right thank you
ma'am ma'am
can you hear me
yes ma'am
do you want to ask something
no ma'am वो तो चली गई थैंक यू बोल रही थी सिर्फ मैम सुनाई दिया
okay thank you